Hey Raider Nation, it is another Friday, and what a week we have been having. Lutheran Schools Week is always one of my favorite weeks each year. It's a way to celebrate Lutheran schools, celebrate our kids, and yesterday was a blast. I know usually our tradition here has been going to the skate land, but since they had their fire about a year ago, we weren't able to do that, and so we switched it up with airtime. I think the kids had a great time. It was a lot of fun. I saw them jumping and playing dodgeball and doing the Ninja Warrior course. It was great to see the preschoolers all the way through the 8th grade, and even some of our parents were out there jumping along. So let me know what you guys thought, if that was something that we should do again next year. Today is Friends Day, and what a way to end the week by asking our students to do something nice for one of their friends, or more than one. A lot of the kids also are going to Lutheran Westland for their play, which is also, I believe, tonight and tomorrow. So if you want to see it, it's an Alice in Wonderland theme. Now this video might be a little bit longer than usual, so please bear with me. I have a lot of information to kind of give out there and to let you guys know as parents. One thing I want to do is always try to make sure the communication is flowing to you guys and that you guys know everything. As you know, we have not had a pastor for day-to-day operations since Pastor Moore had to leave. We have Pastor Stackholtz right now doing our Sunday services, visiting some of our shut-ins. But in that meantime, the board of directors here has given me the title of interim CEO to do the day-to-day operations. So if you have any questions about the church or school, please come and see me. I would love to talk with you and see how we can continue to move the church and the school forward. Also, let's see what else is going on. NWEAs. We finally were able to have a couple Wednesdays where we had faculty meetings and be able to talk over the NWEA testing with the teachers so that they are prepared to answer any questions. I am putting together a parental informational night so that we can go over the results kind of as a whole, or even going over what does the NWEA mean and what does each of the RIT, and when you look at the growth rate, so you guys understand everything that is on the paper when you get it. The NWEA, just give you a quick second here. NWEA is different than the old Iowa test or ITBS test or the Stanford test that we probably have taken in the past. So it scores it a little bit different. It looks a little bit different, and it's more of a growth test instead of maybe necessarily an IQ test. All right, so now the main point that I want to get to on this video and keeping that information up to date. So we have a new governor, Governor Whitmer, in the Michigan, and she's not parochial schools, private schools, religious schools, and we kind of knew that, but she has proposed her next year's budget, her 2020-2021 fiscal budget. And I'm telling you so you guys know and be able to use that information and really go and talk to your representatives and congressmen and help them to understand how important St. Matthew is, our other Lutheran schools, our Catholic schools, our Baptist schools, and not just religious schools, just private schools in whole, how important they are. So here's one of the things that's so far is a good thing. She has not talked about share time. We were worried that she was going to remove the budget, share time budget, which means our art, PE, Spanish, computers, music class would have to be done by us and our own teachers, which could mean if we had to hire outside teachers, increase of salary, expenses, and so forth. So that's a good thing so far, that she has not addressed it. And it is a benefit for public schools too, having the shared time. So we get their teachers for those specials, and they get to count our kids for their budgets. It's not a one FTE, full-time equivalent of a student, but there is a percentage in that. And it also helps, share time helps us to have the Chromebooks that we got and the additional Chromebooks and that past class that our kids do with math and reading. So then let's see, next thing is to Next thing is to eliminate funding to reimburse non-public schools complying with state health and safety mandates. So there are things, even though we're a private school, there are things that we have to do, we are mandated by the government to do. Taking attendance, fire drills, tornado drills, lockdown drills, and there's a few other things in there, like with the kitchen and so forth. And there is this debate going back and forth that since we are mandated by the government to do that, we should be given money, reimbursed for doing that. The public school gets reimbursed and it gets money for doing those certain things, so we should be able to also get some money for that. So she wants to eliminate that, which has been in the budget the last about 4 or 5 years, but there's been a court cases and lawsuits, so we haven't seen that money yet. So hopefully it will be ruled that it's legal for the government to pay us that money that we deserve and we earn, but we will see. A positive thing, especially for our high schools, they are maintaining funding for the dual enrollment program, so that's for students that are in high school. They could also be in college at the same time and get credit for both. Now here's one that could affect us. We kind of fund it ourselves, but she wants to eliminate the funding for our students to participate in the robotics program. So there's some funding that we can get, a grant for the first robotics program, but she wants to not let non-public schools have any of that money, but keeping it for the public school. So there's an unfairness there between public schools and non-public schools. One of the things that was really interesting to see, and it sounded like great, because she wanted to propose a $60 million program to provide at least one hydration station per every 100 students in public schools across the state. So that way our boosters is just talking about this, getting a hydration station down by the gym, and this would help it because we could use this money to do it. But she doesn't want to include non-public schools in it, so that is a downfall. Let's see. I have a list of different things here that I'm looking at. Public schools. So don't need to know about that. The increase, additional funding. So for our public schools, it's a good thing because there's additional funding going towards our public schools. So that pretty much recaps the main point. There's a bunch of different other little things on there, but the main points of how it's going to affect us, and it's not in a good way. So again, Kevin Coleman is our Wayne Westland rep. If you live in the Wayne Westland area, or even because their school is in Wayne Westland, I would contact him and talk to him and tell him how much you dislike and unapprove Governor Whitmer's budget, because it is affecting all students, not just public school students. It's going to affect us here, and we have a right to have our own school here, and we have a right for the government not to include us in certain things that we are mandated to, and so forth. So I know that is a really long video today, and it was a lot of information, but you guys are awesome. I appreciate it every single day. So with that, I'm going to end it. Have a great weekend. I hear it's supposed to warm up to 40s or 50s next week. So let's continue to pray to God that it does. Have a great day.